Yeah, it has. It's been another week that's gone well. We're looking very much forward to the weekend. It's going to be once again a difficult League Two afternoon. We're pleased in terms of the form that we're in terms of one defeat in six is great for us. Disappointing, of course, it was last week. I was really disappointed that we didn't manage to back up what's been a fantastic month, but that's what it is. Not going to get too carried away. Don't go through the clouds when we win games, and don't go through the floor when we lose games either. It's definitely been a case of business as usual, and we look forward.
I've just touched upon the disappointment of last Saturday. On that, how quickly do you think it is just to get back on the horse as quick as possible and return to winning ways at the first opportunity?
Well, we spoke about it directly after the game. I think all of us acknowledged that we weren't at the top of our game. But like I've just said, unfortunately, that's a level that sometimes you get used to. We didn't get too carried away with the 4 wins and the 1 draw either. So not going to get too carried away with the loss last week. On a different day, we could have shown our ruthlessness and come away winning 2 or 3-1. We didn't. We've lost, but we've got another opportunity against Exeter, and we've got a long journey to contend with, and we've got a difficult opponent with a good manager at the helm. So we know it's going to be a difficult afternoon.
Obviously, the current situation with the league table, you look at it at the moment, it's so tight in there, and one result either way for any side could propel them or sort of send them back downwards very, very quickly. So you must look at it positively and say that we're only 6 points out of the playoffs, and you've got it all to do.
Yeah, it's a snakes and ladders league, isn't it? You kind of think you're getting there, and then suddenly you fall in places, and you're not happy with what you're looking at on a Saturday night. That's what it is. We're 6 points off the playoffs. We're a team that's lost 1 in 6, and even the perceived fantastic times of last year, probably still we were still 4 or 5 points off the top 7. So I look at that and I look at where we are this year, and it's very similar. It's very close. If we'd have got the 3 points last week, I think you'd have seen a certain amount of people getting carried away with what's happened in the last 6 games. I haven't. I've just looked upon it as another game, and we have to make sure that the week's been right, and it has. We have to make sure that the preparation is absolutely the same. Well, it has been, and we have to make sure that we're putting a performance, and in the past we've been able to do that after a loss.
One word you mentioned there, preparation, obviously one of the longer trips of the season down to St James's Park. You able to shed a little bit of light on the preparation of sort of tomorrow and heading into Saturday's game? Yeah,
an early start. We'll all meet early at the stadium, and then there'll be 1 or 2 little pickups along the way, and we'll train halfway and get to the hotel and rest and recuperate, and hopefully eat well on Friday night and get ready for a game. We've done it so many times. These players absolutely understand and prepare themselves, not just on a Friday for the Saturday game, but that preparation took place straight after the game last week. So no, it's a very professional environment that we work in, and it comes as standard.
Positive news early in the week that obviously Will Norris returns to training following that game away with tonsillitis. How has he returned to the setup?
Well, we had to be a little bit careful with him earlier on in the week. When you've had that tonsillitis and you've lost 3 or 4 pounds like you did, I think you've just got to concentrate on getting your diet right and eating the food and trying to put on that weight. Well, he's done that, and now he's had a couple of days training where he's looking like Will Norris of old. So, no, we're pleased that he's going to be available for the weekend, but that's not to say that I thought that David Gregory put in a performance last weekend where he only had one thing to do, and I suppose that was getting the ball out the net, which was disappointing for everybody connected with a football club. But I think that probably highlights the game as well.
Yeah, but give us any more news from the treatment room?
No, I mean we're still missing Medialito. Obviously Barry's out for the long term. Uche's still struggling with his foot, so it's probably similar to last week.
In terms of Uche himself, which you talked about his foot injury, but he has still been able to work on the fitness side of it. Obviously, disappointed that he missed last week's game, having worked his way back up to fitness in the sort of previous 3 or 4 games. Yeah,
I mean he was getting there, and that came at a big blow for everybody. None more so than Uche. It was a big loss when he couldn't carry on in training on Friday morning. So when you looking and preparing the way that we did, and then something like that happens right at the very last minute. It kind of throws an hand grenade in there. But listen, that's what you have to deal with, and we dealt with it. You know, it wasn't our afternoon last Saturday, but we've got another opportunity coming up.
Just finally, I guess the game is very much on one game at a time, but you'll be looking for that first win to get another run up and running and work yourself back up the league.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're very, very proud of the run that we went on. It ended last week. You know, we lost. It's not the end of the world. It's not the first time we're going to go on a run. It won't be the last. So it's a case of business as usual, preparing in the right manner, not going through the clouds when you're on top of your game, and not going through the floor when you've lost the game either. It's just that continuous preparing right and do our jobs on a Saturday afternoon, and that's what we've always done. You know, nothing changes for this weekend.